Greetings everyone and welcome back to The Darkest Dungeon 2, a game that so many of you have been anticipating seeing on the channel, considering we covered The Darkest Dungeon back when it was very early access, and indeed we are now covering Darkest Dungeon 2 while it's in early access. This is now available for purchase over on Epic Games Store. You'll find a link down in the description below, along with my creator code if you would like to also support the channel while picking this game up for yourself. But what is the Darkest Dungeon? Well, this is going to be a bit of a harder question to answer because the Darkest Dungeon 1 was a very different game to the Darkest Dungeon 2. In Darkest Dungeon 1, it was a bit more of a management game with rogue-like elements. It was definitely a rogue-lite management game. You went out on expeditions with a party, the party would level up, you'd come back, you'd upgrade your hamlet, maybe take on new adventurers, and it was a lot of resource management, especially human resource management, in who you'd send out, how you'd level them up, how you'd have them spend their time decompressing after a few adventures. Darkest Dungeon 2 still has rogue-like elements. In fact, I would say Darkest Dungeon 2 is more of a roguelike than a roguelite, but it does still have meta progression. However, with Darkest Dungeon 2, it's much more of a game where you'll do discrete runs, and at the end of the run, succeed or fail, you would start a brand new run. But each run will get progressively easier because as you go through a particular adventure, you will accrue hope, which is a meta currency which will level up your profile. You'll notice down here I'm on profile level 2, and that is because I've played the tutorial effectively. And with that, you will unlock new possibilities in future runs. So instead of just simply starting again and having stronger stuff, you will more likely, much like probably Slay the Spire is a very good basis of comparison on this, and you'll see why in a little while. But much like Slay the Spire, you will have better cards available for you to collect as you proceed through future runs. Much the same here, you'll have different items available for you to find, but also different classes of characters. However, that all being said, let's go ahead and jump into the game because it is always easier to show than to describe. We will meet a familiar cast of characters, and I hope you're going to enjoy our time in Darkest Dungeon 2. Do remember, if at the end of this video you enjoyed what you saw and you'd like to see more, let me know down in the comments or with a like on the video, as pleases you and indeed pleases St. Algorithmus, and we'll see how things go from there. But let's get to the game, shall we? God, I love this art style.
Ruin has found you at last.
Oh no!
My protege. My friend. Our calculations were correct. The ephemeral equation is unbalanced. The Earth spins on a strange and terrifying new axis. And everywhere, unbridled consequence.
Well, that doesn't look very
The world
comfortable.
is a wasteland of failures past. And yet, you must ride out into it, unafraid. Take this. It is hope, the very last of it. It is yours now. You were bold once. Be bold once more. Free yourself from this suffocating stillness. Fix your gaze on the horizon. And face the fearsome truth of the Darkest Dungeon.
Okay, well, we start off with gloomy darkness and a single torch. If we hover over it, we can see that this is our torch, and you'll be familiar with that from the first game.
An apocalypse that only we can oppose.
Really, is it just us? It might actually be, you know. Alright.
indistinct and ill-lighted. No comfort awaits you here.
But that isn't strictly true. No, from here we can complete our confession. Denial. And with this, we begin a run.
You have cowered in your crumbling denial long enough.
And onwards we go. Ever more into the gloom, where more events will lurk out at us.
The crossroads. A place between places.
Very well. Okay, now it's at this point that we can recruit our crew. Now, all of the different professions are unlocked as you make progress, sort of meta progress, so between runs as you accumulate EXP from a run, or hope in this case. That hope will level up your profile. We're currently on level 2, simply because I played the tutorial before I started recording. Now, at each of these levels, we will unlock a new profession. So far, profile level 15 is the end, where we get the Occultist. We've got the Leper, Jester, Runaway, Hellion, and you start with the Plague Doctor, the Grave Robber, the Highwayman, and the Man-at-Arms. And from these, you can select your 4-person party. If you have unlocked more people, then should you lose someone during your run, then there may be an opportunity to fill out that slot. But there is only ever one of each profession, if you like. And so, at most, you've got 15 lives if you've managed to get to profile level 15. Sorry, not 15 lives. You've got, at most, 9 lives through an entire run. Alright, so you're probably familiar with these characters if you've played the first, but this gives you a little bit of a rundown on what the role or the more optimum playstyle for the character will be. You can, of course, see their skills, and you can unlock more as you go, depending on how you level the character up. These will come with mastery points from each run. Those don't carry over as much as far as I'm aware. However, if we have a look here, each character does have a positive trait and a negative one, the quirk. So Nocturnal, if flame is below 50%, they get faster and do more damage. Necrophobia, fear of cadavers and symbols of death. If they get hit by such a symbol or a character, then there's a good chance that they will get some stress from that. We've got a generous highwayman. Wow, okay. Willing to give what is asked of them. A germaphobe. If at the turn start they are affected by poison or blight, then there's a 25% chance they'll generate stress. The Grave Robber is thick-blooded, so they're resistant to blight, or have got slightly better resistant, but torn rotator cuff, so they do 10% less damage. That's a bit of a pain. And the Plague Doctor, early riser. If the flame is above 75, then they'll gain 2 speed. And also flawed release. Now the little cross there indicates that this is a rare item. So both of these quirks are rare quirks. So that's minus 5% crit chance. And as always, we've got names. Well, we can't really change our lineup in any way, so we're going to have these characters, but we need to find out what their true names are. Okay, we have got the Plague Doctor, Dander. Welcome to the team.
Indiscriminate science stains the surgeon's hands.
Indiscriminate science. That is both the most terrifying sounding, but also possibly the most interesting sounding science. We've got the Grave Robber, Mousy Karina. I'm afraid there is a very, very restrictive limit on the amount of characters here for names, so patrons, please forgive me for having to take certain liberties. But welcome, the Grave Robber, Mousy Karina.
Avarice slips unseen into the catacombs of the mind.
We also have MWBF, or my wife's biggest fan. There was a 0 chance of me even fitting half your name into this, I'm afraid.
Hunted, harried, a fugitive seeking to outpace the past.
And finally, we have Aileron and Cat. It is usually Aileron and Cats, but we're just going to have to go with the singular this time.
Pride, more devastating than the horrors of 100 campaigns.
Alright, let's get out there and see what we have to see. Though, did we actually cover everything here? I think we did, yes. We covered all of the quirks. Alright then. Now, this is far more of a rogue-like than a roguelite, though it does still have the usual trappings of a roguelite in that it has meta progression.
Into the crumbling chaos.
Now,
of the
one thing
world.
you're going to want to understand is that the carriage is absolutely capable of handling anything we hit, and the horses won't allow you to go off the road completely. So aim for the piles of debris, because sometimes inside there is stuff there, so you do actually want to collide with them. It can be a little bit awkward sometimes because the horses are clever and don't actually want to run into a wall. The academic's cache. Okay, let's have a look at you.
An impressive haul. Put it to good use.
Very well, I shall. We've got some laudanum. We've got a pouch of lye. We've got clotting poultice. Boxing gloves. This is an in item, as is this, so we're not going to be able to use those until we come to a rest stop. Minor cleansing sensor is a vague trinket. A distant trinket, the ablative. Storage trunk, which we can use to actually upgrade our coach. Our coach is, for all intents and purposes, the Hamlet from the first game, only significantly reduced in scope and ability. This is not a management game as the first one was. It has a lot of the same kind of trappings and mechanics from the first game, but there are some pretty big differences in the overall game loop. This game, while it does have a bit of meta progression, is largely a rogue. It's much closer to rogue in that each run is a self-contained instance. Again, it does have roguelite elements in that you've got meta progression, but each individual run is much more run and done. Whereas the first game, you had the Hamlet, you always came back, and it was certainly possible to soft lock yourself, but you could usually just continue on, hire more mercenaries. You always had the Hamlet to come back to. In this, each time you more or less start fresh with some potential changes. And by that I mean that although you'll start from the same place each time, with your profile having progressed, with the more EXP that you've gained, the meta currency of hope, you will eventually have a greater potential in each run, because there'll be more things that you can find which will allow you to go further. The storage trunk, we can only upgrade that at an inn. And finally, relics, which are effectively the currency. Now, we've got exclamation marks over everyone. A lovely little turn of events, I'd say, indeed. This means that we can equip you. Now, we've got some combat gear. The combat gear is the laudanum or the pouch of lye. This affects the whole party. Corpse, clear corpses. Oh, okay. So, in our own party, or that is a little bit worrisome, but maybe we're going to have to use it. The laudanum would be nice to reduce stress. Who am I possibly going to be okay with not taking a turn with is the question. Well, actually, that being said, I was about to say, well, maybe I should put her on someone who isn't going to need to use their full turn for something else. But the nice thing about combat items is they actually exist outside of the turn order, which isn't intuitive. I constantly think that these are going to need a full turn to do, but you can actually use these outside of your turn order, in that it's an extra action, rather than taking the place of an attack action, for example. So, let's see, we're going to give this to Masquerina. Masquerina, you're going to be in charge of the party's morale, and I guess the highwayman can do... Well, actually, no. Masquerina, for thematic reasons, you're going to deal with the corpses. Dander, since you're already going to be partially responsible for taking care of people's lives, in the sense of you, the only person who has any kind of medical training, albeit maybe questionable medical training, you will also take care of their stress as well. But there are still exclamation marks, and that is because we have some trinkets. Now, that's fire resistance, and this is poison resistance. I think Masquerina already had a fairly nice... resistance. Oh, actually, sorry, no, this is the disease resistance, whereas that is blight resistance. I don't think anyone has particularly high resistance that we could double down on. Well, maybe Dander, but Dander is probably not going to be affected by it, so let's go ahead with my wife's biggest fan. You can be a little bit more resistant to disease, and I will give Elrond and Katz the trinket here, the ablative, to give them a bit more fire resistance. Right. Onwards into this, honestly, extremely pleasing autumnal scene.
Your insightful questions during my lectures gave me pause, and I recognized in you something of a kindred spirit.
That doesn't sound good, honestly. Considering where things are. I'm not sure if that is a good thing for us. It's probably a bit of a bad sign, actually. May have condemned us, in fact.
Facing oblivion, these folks have kept their honor. Have you?
We're about to find out. Now, this is one of the things I really love about the events, is everyone in the party will have a different interpretation of how we should, or a different idea of how we should interact with things, or interpretation of the signs that they see. And depending on which one you take, you'll get different sort of results. In this case, we will get the same thing from everyone, it looks like. So, Mousy Karina feels that we light the way for more than merely us now, so we'd get some food, and we'd also top up our torch. Elrond and Kat feels exactly the same. Let all kind folk unite under the banner of our light. And my wife's biggest fan. It is on us to carry the torch. And it's a long road. So each of these outcomes give exactly the same thing, and because everyone is more or less in agreement, except except our Plague Doctor. Shh, it's fine. Conspicuously silent through this exchange. Those who have the same opinion will probably improve their relationship. And I really love the relationship mechanic in this one and how that builds up over time. Let's go with... sure, let all kind folk unite under the banner of our light.
In this world, wealth is worthless without purpose.
Indeed. But our torch has gotten a bit of a boost in light, which is very nice. And also we've got some slime mold, which we can use at the next inn. Or blighters, indeed. Blighted may be exactly what they're suffering with. There we go. Let's grab all of these if we can. Now, you don't have to hold down W to move. You can instead trigger auto move just with a double tap of W. And then it's just up to you to steer, which honestly is a little bit easier, but it does sometimes mean you won't have quite as much time to course correct as you would otherwise want. Right. I think this is where our journey begins.
More harshly on the far side of the brook. Each gravestone is more than a failure.
Okay.
It is a promise to do better.
That's a nice way of looking at it. I'm not sure if it really will work out that way or not. This run so far has been rather quiet. Oh, speak of the devil.
Is giving way.
Okay. Now, our torch level is not great. Shadowy. Heroes plus 20% chance of affinity changes. Now, that isn't necessarily negative affinity changes. So that's your relationships. Enemies plus 1 speed, plus 3 crit, plus 5% resistances, and 20% enemy battle advantage chance. Right. We're up against a Widow. You can press Alt to bring up some extra info about them. Now, the Widow has speed of 4, speed of 3, the Lost Souls. As for our peeps, we should generally be okay with this. I think what we're going to do here is my wife's biggest fan. We've got the Widow coming up next. I don't know what her abilities are, but let's pop... Let's have my wife's biggest fan go ahead and take a Duelist Advance so that you've got Riposte. And we'll try and rush down one of the Lost Souls because we're going to get more of our party to have a turn before one of them does. Whereas the Widow, there's no chance. Now, who are you going for? Oh, do some reflection. Okay. Horror. Now, horror means that for 3 turns there's a 50% chance of gaining a stress. But, you know, we might be lucky and get through that without any of it. Sadly, we've got you first. Still, we might be able to alpha you down. Got 4 to 7 with a 10% chance of crit here. It's only got 9 to 13 health left, or I could go for 2 to 4 but have a guaranteed 2 damage on its turn. Now, the way that Death Blow works, none of these creatures here have death resist, so if we drop their health down to 0, they die. Or rather, at 0 they go to death's door, and any further they die. There's no chance of resisting that, so having a dot that'll happen on their turn can be quite useful, because if we've managed to bring their health completely down by then, we might be able to take them out just with the dot. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of blight on you. There we are. Nice 4. Now all we need to do is 5 damage. Have we got anything that can possibly do that? We might not, sadly. It doesn't look like we do. Alright, well the only thing we can do is Noxious Blast. This will put a dot on them as well. Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. No crit. Death Blow. Okay, we managed to take them out. We probably dropped them below 0 health. As far as I understand it, it might be that at 0 health, if they have no death resistance whatsoever, they don't go to Death's Door. That Death's Door is something that only happens if they have death resistance of some amount. I'm not perfectly clear on that just yet. But let's have a look. We could bolster the whole team. No one is vulnerable. I could protect someone, and that would mean that Elrond and Cat would gain. Let's have a look. Would gain block, which would mean we take 50% less damage, but also we would add guarded to someone else, which would mean that should they be attacked, we'll absorb the attack. And I think that might be a good move. We've already seen that you can hit the back lines, but that being said, you're the next one to go, and then it'll probably be you following that. We could just kind of try and alpha you down as well. We do have a fairly nice crit chance here. I could move forward, target knockback. Sure, this will add the daze effect. And daze means the next turn will be delayed to the end of the round. Now that would be perfect on you. Sadly, we can't get there. Still, this will do 3 to 6 with a 5% chance of a crit. So let's wallop you. Shift you around a little bit. There we go. Now you're guaranteed to take your turn later in the queue. Right. Let's see. We could go with a pick. We could try and alpha you down, since we've got 3 people who are going to take this turn, possibly 4 before you have yours. Let's just go for it. Let's just try and take you out. Okay. I am your defense. Okay, they're building up a bit of a relationship there. I love the interplay between the characters. That's something really nice that's been added over the first game. Now let's go for just a crush. We really want to try and just do as much damage to you as we can, so you don't get a turn. Followed up by my wife's biggest fan, who could move in with another riposte. Let's see, you've got 4 health. Well, if we hit high, we might take you out. Yes, very nice. So now we've got 3 counterattacks. Not bad, eh? Okay, they're building up a little bit of a relationship. Now, one of the things to be aware of is that if you've got a lot of light, there is a good chance that any interaction between your characters is going to be a positive one. If the light level is low, or your people are generally just stressed, then the chance of that interaction being a negative one goes up rather sharpish. Let's drop... I don't think... No, I can't hit you with this, sadly. I could blind you, since you are going to get a turn, or I could give everyone a bit of extra resistance. This will affect the entire party. But it won't give me resistance to damage, just resistance against possible effects. Or alternatively, I could pull down a bit of stress. No, let's go for the blinding. Let's try and remove... There's a 50% chance you're just going to miss any attack you take now. There we go. Perfect. But that has moved you forward, which is perfect for me. Given that, let's get in there and just do a regular attack. There we are. Lovely.
Experience, however painful, is the greatest teacher of all.
Indeed. Got some relics. We've also got a dartboard. This is something we can use at the inn to reduce some stress. We've also got a sacrificial host, a distant trinket, plus 20% blight resistance. That I very much like. Blight is such a pain.
Are you shaken? There is so much worse in store.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and give someone the blight resistance. Now, I could give it to Dandon, make your blight resistance absolutely bonkers. Alternatively... You're getting a little bit extra from the quick. You know what? Sure. Let's go ahead and give you... Let's double down on your blight resistance. We'll probably do the same for Dander if we get another one of those trinkets in the rest of the run. Okay, the first in.
The roaring heart does much for the weary body. Even more, perhaps, for the restless soul.
The torch and crown. A glimmer of hope in the quickening dark. Heal to 100%. Very nice. My wife's biggest fan and Masquerina became more friendly. Masquerina and Dander became more friendly. Aileron and Cat and Masquerina became more friendly. And Aileron and Cat and my wife's biggest fan became more friendly. Person. Dander became more friendly with Masquerina, but I noticed that Dander's name really isn't in here very often. Right. The party reached the torch and crown. Marvellous. Now, we've got a bunch of items and things that we can do. So, we've got 2 people who've got a bit of stress. We do have something over here. 2 targets. High chance of improving affinity. Very small chance of harming their affinity. Blocked by blundering. Crumdudgeon. Lazy eye and misses the mark. So this will be perfect for you 2. Let's get you 2 using that. There you go. Juvenile pastime to lighten the mood. Though my fingers be clumsy, I do enjoy this. There we go. Perfect. That has improved things a little bit. Now, we don't need any kind of healing. We do have clotting poultice plus bleed resistance until the next in. You may as well use it. Strength buff. -1 strength. Chance of positive or negative affinity. It's kind of either way. We're going to keep that until we need it. But I would like the clotting poultice. Let's see. Who's got the least bleed resistance? You are fine. Let's have a look at my wife's biggest fan. Can we bring up my wife's biggest fan in any way? Or is it just Aileron and Cat? Ah, there we go. Perfect. Bleed resistance of 40, 30, 30. Well, since you're going to generally be on the front line, let's go ahead and use this. Slather this on vital something something. I completely missed that part. Okay, well that's perfect. Mastery trainer. So we can use a skill
when survival demands it.
Now these don't come particularly quickly. There are a few ways that you can get them, but generally you're going to get them from battles. Now, if you look over any particular item, it'll tell you how it'll work. So down the bottom shows you how it will change, so the damage would increase. We'd gain some better resistances, but target. We could possibly have... Right, if we bring up this, it'll show you stun when combo. There are lots of icons, and it can take a little while to learn about all of them. But so on this, the target will get stunned if they get comboed. Now, combos, from what I've seen, trigger when people have a high affinity with each other. If they're friends or they've got they're respected or something like that, then they work well together as a team. They will sometimes get combo attacks, which I don't think you can trigger specifically, but sometimes will activate on their own. But there may be certain skills that will work off it. Regardless, it kind of reminds me of Chrono Trigger in a certain way. Ignores 30% of their blight resistance when you've got a combo on the target. So we could upgrade Blight, the Noxious Blast, to do 6 Blight, which is very nice. Blinding Gas. This would actually stun them, and since it hits 2 people, this might be something we go for. We'd be able to blind the backline and daze the backline, and potentially get a combo there. Generally speaking, I mean, Battlefield Medicine, heal 25, but that's only if they're below 50 health. So I don't think we're going to be relying on that one a lot. This would be very nice. Ounce of Prevenge will drop stress across the entire party. That's actually kind of big. I think we may be going with a skill up for Dander, but let's have a look at the other options that we've got. We can get some extra riposte if we have a combo on the target. That's still very much an area where I've got the least inkling of exactly how it works, so please forgive me if I'm incorrect in my assumptions here. I have only just played the tutorial and jumped straight in because, oh my lord, this game is so fun. I needed to share it with you. Tracking shot will remove dodge on the opponent, will remove stealth on the opponent. It ignores dodge and stealth, and also could have combo going on. This one would give us more critical and more dodge and hastiness, so it's actually quite a nice one. Pick plus 50% crit chance when the target has a combo modifier. Thrown dagger, much the same, ignores dodge, stealth, and guarded. That is actually pretty amazing. That's just a base ability there, but a very high crit chance. We've also got poison dart, which is nice. That would take the blight effect up to 4. Now, the way blight works is it'll do the amount of blight damage that you've stacked at the start of the opponent's turn. So that could actually be very, very nice. We've got absinthe, which would give us a very good dodge. I believe that's dodge plus. 75% chance to dodge the next attack. But ultimately, I think it has to be blinding gas. That is just way too powerful for us to pass up. So let's go ahead, spend a mastery point on that. Boom. There you go. So, Dandy, you're really going to be... I guess we're going to be focusing on you more as a crowd control and healer. I would very much like to get Ounce of Prevention upgraded the next chance we get. Right, so that's done. Let's move on. Oh, do we have an extra mastery point? No, we don't.
A new variable in the equation of your fate.
Stagecoach can have a name. Oh, well, this is marvelous. It can also have a larger storage trunk, which will allow us to bring more gear, which I'm very, very happy with. But we need a name for our stagecoach. Okay, so Chaotricles decided Sheilab would be the name, but given the atmosphere we've got, it shall be Shady Sheilab. There we go. Fantastic. All right, with that, we've got select route. Now, we've got a couple of choices: the fighter or the tangle. Curious, plus 100% scout chance for academic studies, plus 200% academic studies. These are events on the road. Or grave calling, minus 10% death resistance. Ugh. Also, the whole thing about cadavers, maybe we shouldn't go there. Fog of War, goal, avoid the watchtower. Okay, that is an event. It's a positive place to visit generally. So if we avoided the watchtower, we would get plus 500 hope. And that is the meta currency, so that's actually very nice. Discretion, not valor. Fight at no more than 1 resistance encounter. Okay. Very well. So that would be an interesting one. Generally speaking, resistance encounters don't have fighting that I've seen so far. So this implies much. Griddle, coach upgrade, rare. Produces flapjacks. Everybody loves flapjacks. Does everybody love flapjacks? Let me know in the comments if you don't. So that we can know that you are actually a minion of the forces of evil, and we should probably turn you into a flapjack. Just because you're evil doesn't mean you need to be untruthful. Right, okay, I think of the two, I am most lured by hope, but corpses is going to be an issue going here. And since we've got one person who doesn't like corpses... No, we're going to go over here. So we're going to avoid...
The tainted crop continues to spread its tendrils of rot and pestilence.
We're going to avoid talking over the amazing narrator, but we're also going to avoid the watchtower. Now, I will show you what the watchtower is in just a moment. Now, this is the game proper. Up to now, that's just basically the prologue, if you like. So you don't have all of the game mechanics in play. Well, isn't this just lovely?
The grows unchecked and abhorrent.
Now, if you're getting Slay the Spire vibes, yes. Very yes. Okay, so we have to avoid the... let's turn off center on the stagecoach so I can actually move this around a bit. Each path, there's a lot to digest from this map. But all the question marks are unscouted areas. When you first enter an area, there's a certain percentage chance, which can be upgraded with coach upgrades, that you'll scout any particular node as you move through. And every node gets this chance. So we can see what some of them are. For example, this is a resistance encounter. Okay, so, right. So, My bad. I was getting the terms confused. This is an assistance encounter. This is what I was. We fight at assistance encounters? No. Resistance encounters are the guaranteed combat. So that would have actually been a difficult one to have achieved on the other route. Ultimately, we want to get all the way down here to fight against... rather, to get to the inn, but to possibly fight against the Guardian. And there may be a layer somewhere around here as well. There's lots of different things. There's some caches, hoarder, which is basically a trader. That is the watchtower. So we need to not take this route. So generally, if we stick to the right, we'll be fine. Lots of areas we don't know what's there. The blue paths may contain a fight along the way. Now, these are generally easier than the fights at a destination, but they can also weaken you greatly before you get to a destination, whereas the greener paths, or the yellowy paths, those are more well-maintained, or at least better scouted, so it's less likely, but not impossible that you might have a fight on those paths as well. A hospital is a very good place to visit. Hitting the assistance encounters would be very nice for us as well. So, with that in mind, I'm thinking we take the unknown route over here. Then we'll hit a assistance encounter, then on to the hospital, possibly, depending on the situation, but then we've got a guaranteed assistance encounter over here, though we would have to brave an unknown path. But either way, we've got an idea now of where we're going. So let's make sure it's centered on the stagecoach and begin our travels.
Consider all variables,
we want to take the right route.
Quickly.
There we go. Right, okay. It is worth taking a moment where you can to grab an idea of the map. And that was a nice little event there. Though my steering is bloody awful. Can't sleep. Awful food. Oh, stress is rising there, unfortunately. Let's try and control that, shall we? The Shrine of Reflection. Echoes of the Past. Now, I believe here we will get a little bit of the memories of a character, so we learn a little bit about their past. So, Dander, the jeers, the whispers, they pushed me deep into my studies. Or my wife's biggest fan, walls will never again hold me. Or, Elrond and Katz, my ambition outflanked my fellow officers at sorties and mock skirmishes. And finally, Miles Karina. Tradition drove us into each other's arms. Or estates, rather. Okay. Let's find out a little bit about Dander, though. The Good Student.
Doctor. Chapter 1. The Good Student. Brilliant and bold, her unconventional theories created nothing short of a scandal in her 4th year. The mocking whispers and scornful glares of her peers and professors had an ironically invigorating effect on her extracurricular experiments. The mysteries of the human body, of life and death itself, hovered just above her scalpel's reach. If only she could acquire a corpse of sufficient freshness.
My. It's a bit grim. Yours for the taking. +1 mastery point and emboldening vapors. Okay, so this is a new quest. Sorry, a new skill. Right. Onwards. Okay, then, Dander, let's have a look at this. Now, you have a new skill, and we can swap these out as long as you're not in a fight. Emboldening vapors. Does that affect the whole... No, it only affects one person, but the target will gain strength. Next attack deals +50 damage. Is there something I particularly don't think I'm going to be using? Well, honestly, I am probably going to go with... See, the bleed is nice. There's nothing really I want to shed. Perhaps we could remove ounce of prevention. Yeah, let's roll with emboldening vapors Ounce of Prevention is nice to prop up our resistances. That being said, we do actually want to bulk this up at a later point, so maybe getting into the habit of using it would be good, because that'll pull down stress. Maybe we could drop Incision, but the Bleed is nice. If we could get Bleed and Blight on a target, it becomes incredibly useful. But this is the only ability that can't be used from the back row. So, actually, our choice is made. Perfect. Okay, we're going to swap those skills out. Now, you don't have to swap the skills, but you totally can if you want to. Plus 2% crit next region from the dartboard. Nice. Okay, onwards. Ooh, actually. Which way are we going here? We're going to the... Oh, everyone wants to go to the right. Okay, well, I'm happy to do this. Let's take the right road then. There we go. And that has reduced stress a little bit because we took the direction that they wanted. Can't sleep. Awful food. Worst company. Ah, see, that's not very nice. Why you gotta be like this? But we've got to fight.
A festering impasse, tended by toothy fiends.
I mean... It feels like we're in the Dark Souls journey right now. We're in the Dark Souls region. Could you fit any more teeth on the... My goodness. Okay, so we've got a Butcher, Plague Eater. And we've got a Plague Eater animal livestock there. And we've got a Maid? What? Okay. Well, who's going first? The livestock there. Now, they've got fodder, consumable by other Plague Eaters. I wouldn't want to know what that's going to do. Oh, my lord, you've got a lot of buffs there that I very much don't like. Very much don't like. Alright, well, how much health have you got? You got 16, 28, 22. Right, we need to stack up some blights on you. You're going to become an issue. So let's try and make sure we've got decent blight resistance. You've got amazing blight resistance there. You're slow. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, they did resist it, damn it. Okay. Our blight skills are going to be an issue here then. Right, well, for now, let's go with the blinding gas. There we go. Triggers additional skill effects when targeted. Ouch. That was a heck of a blow there. I could take aim, but I don't think we're going to here. Instead, let's dart forward. We know you're not going to get a turn, but the other ones will probably be close enough. Right, so Days, they'd be moved to the very end of the queue. We could go with knockback, perhaps. I don't think that's going to be useful. Let's just go for as much damage as we can. That being said, triggers additional skill effects when targeted. Yeah, we don't have any skills that are going to benefit from that just yet, so sadly, not going to happen. Okay, you pulled us out of alignment, but that's alright. Larval Slop. Thank goodness you resisted that. That does not sound nice. Vile Feast. Oh, you're a healer. Right. Duly noted. There's no use of using my blight attacks here. I just don't think it's going to be beneficial. I could try and hit 2 targets at the same time. No one's got anything that I really need to avoid right now, so sure. Well, actually, I could gain speed. We could boost, but no, I think we're just going to go for the damage here. Do what we can. Maybe I should have gone for the speed and the dodges. I dislike the rising stress there. We've got 3 of these, so I could pull down some stress. I would like not to have you getting your stress up too high. So let's pull that down a little bit. Right, we could go with... That's on cooldown for now. Blight is just kind of useless. Instead, Emboldening Vapors. Let's get you buffed. Right. Next up, let's go for another attack. We'll continue to try and bring you down. Perfect.
Early results are encouraging.
Indeed they are. Now, let's take aim, gather dodge and crit chance. You've already got riposte still, so this will actually be quite nice here. Oh, you're going for... Oh, marvellous retaliation there. That was a brilliant retaliation there. Your health is getting a little bit low though. And you just nommed them to bring your health up. Actually, dropping your health a little bit is great because it encourages you to eat the livestock, which I don't really want around. So I think we're all on board with that one. Yeah, let's go for this. One death blow. Now, unfortunately, corpses are in the way. I sought vengeance for you. That's amazing. I like that interplay there. That is absolutely perfect. We could take aim again. It would increase our dodge chance and give us critical, and we've still got one riposte, so if someone were to attack you, you'll just use up the critical and on them. You'd also use the attempt to use the dodge, I guess. Battlefield medicine feels like it would be a good move, but blinding gas is back off cooldown. So yeah, let's go with blinding gas. There we are. You've got double blind now. Right. I need to bring some of you forward. How much health is on these? 9. Frustrating. Right, let's chunk that back if we can. Okay, it's gone. Good. Good. Miss and a counterattack. That has used up everything that we had now, sadly. Will you please stop trying to throw larval slop over our grave robber? So rude. We go with emboldening vapors, but at this point I think battlefield medicine is needed. Let's get you healed up a bit. There we go. Right, at this point flying dags will now hit both of you, and I see no reason not to go with this. A little bit of damage on either one. Ooh, that felt nasty. Right, pistol shot. Have either of you got death resistance? No, good. Okay, I think we're going to go for an advance. Well, we've almost got you down, so let's continue to focus on that for now. Now, you've got 6 there. This may kill. Damn it, just one shy. Of course it was. Rude. And blighted. Okay, we're going to need to heal that. Alright. Sadly, the grave is gone, so we are going to need to focus on you this time. Don't have flying dag. This will do enough damage to take you out, even if it won't blight you. Alright, let's get another battlefield medicine going. Oh, actually, yes, we do. We want to get rid of that blight before it actually takes any damage. There we go. Very nice. And at this point, we just need to damage you down, which shouldn't be too difficult. Though hopefully we can do it quickly so you don't get many turns to do damage to us. Ah, drat. Okay, now that was one thing I didn't cover, is we did actually have a round counter there. If you'd notice up in the top, we had a round counter. If you have a fight at a destination, that will keep going until you die, or they die. But in the encounters on the road, you have to deal with that fight quickly. Otherwise, you get away. So if you just want to survive it, you could just focus on tanking it. But if you want any of the loot from that fight, you have to kill the entire party before the round counter is up. Damn it, we missed it. Course correction does take a while. There we are. We've got a fairly wide turning circle.
Giving in to madness is easier than holding out against it. They are heroes.
Indeed they are. The desperate few. Oh, everyone's got it. A true hero gives when the coffers are low. We would lose some of our money, but we would gain torch, which is amazing. That would put us back up to full brightness, which would actually give enemies a debuff and improve our buff. We would gain some food, some treasure, and some carriage upgrades. There is little hope on the road, but still, it falls on us to help. Gain some food and treasure, but we'd lose some of our torch. First one in the mud buys the first round. Okay. Plus 30 torch, a chance of an interaction and some food. Or, better something useful than a handful of relics. Okay, so pretty much the same here. Okay, the true hero gives when the coffers are low. We'll go with Dander this time. Everyone is happy with this.
Abandoned or forgotten. It is ours now.
So another pouch of lye and some bandages. Very nice. We can deal with bleeding there. Okay, take all. The 30 flame is especially nice for us. Human resilience is truly a marvel. Okay, we've got a 3% chance per road of gaining block, plus 10% death resistance, plus 1 speed, and plus 4% crit. Now then, let's have a look at the items we just collected there. Combat items. Sure, you can get an ability to stop bleeding. Again, because this is basically a free action, it doesn't matter who has it, ultimately. And the lie. There we go. Perfect. Right. Onwards. We'll take... Okay. Most people want to take this route, really. Masquerina wants to go to the assistance encounter. No one wants to go to the... Is that going down over time? No. No. Oh, damn it. There we go. No one... If you just scroll with the mouse wheel, it tries to recenter. No one wants to go to the hospital, which is interesting. However, I guess we can go in any direction right now. But if we want to go to this assistance encounter, we have to take this one or the hospital. But most people want to go this direction. I guess we... Oh, actually, no. If we want to go to that one, we could turn to the road on the side there. Okay, well, I guess we're going to go in the direction where most people want to go. We'll take this one. That should pull down a couple of people's stress. Masquerina isn't happy with it, of course, but it's just the way it's going to be. Pulling down the stress of 3 characters is better than increasing one stress of 1, though it's about to go up a little bit more, which is a bit of a problem. You have the bunk next to mine. Oh, nice. They've improved. Their relationship has improved a little bit. I don't know if there are scripted improvements between certain characters or not, or whether it's purely random.
Brigands, enriching themselves as the world collapses.
Those scoundrels. Right, once again, we've got 5 rounds to take them all out. Pillager Crackshot. Okay, we don't want you on the back line. Pillager Hatchetman. Probably don't want you on the front line. Rightio. Okay, Duelist Advance. Actually, if we could take out some of the crack shots, that would be great. Sure. There we go. Get riposte. I would like to throw... Who's up next? It is you. Let's throw you back then, out of the back line. Damn, you resisted the pushback. Okay, but you're dazed, so you're going to move last. Now, you don't have much in terms of blight resistance, which I am very much a fan of. Let's go ahead and throw down a bit of blight on you. I don't think we're going to be able to do enough damage to really make this hurt, but damn it, we'll try. Let's blind you. I feel that blinding the crack shot is going to be especially nice. Low blow. Bleeding, okay. Well, we can fix that. The days didn't really matter because they were going to be at the end regardless. Nice counter-attack there. Very nice. Though, we've now got that effect there as well. Blister shot. And front mortar. Resisted, but you're still going to get hurt a bit. Alright, the flame has given us block. Nice. Very nice. How much you got? 6. Well, no, good roll. Minimum roll. Shame. Okay, well, who's up next? We could embolden you, but I think Noxious Blast would probably deal with you. So let's just take you out. There we go. Right. I could take aim, or I could go for a slice. 4 to 8 damage is pretty nice. A 19% chance of a crit. Ah. Too bad. Still, it was a good effort. Ouch. Okay, we're going to need to sort that out. Got a bit of trouble there. Right, use the bandages on yourself. That way our medic isn't going to have to. Follow that up. We're going to have another crack shot attack shortly. I could try and throw this back. It's got a move resistance of 20, though. It's got the same move resistance there, but... and you're not going to take a turn, so it doesn't really make much of a difference to us. So let's just try and do a load of damage while we can. Oof. Okay, that was a chunky hit. And got a bit of stress as well. Dazed, unpleasant, very we're going to need to use the laudanum. Absolutely need to pull your stress down. It's getting way too high. We might do that again next turn. Let's get you guys blinded. Yep. Alright. We want a nice clean slice here. We can't fail to take you out, which is perfect for us. However, now I really do need to bring you guys forward. So let's try and just punch the graves either to destruction or push them back behind you. Right, let's get some more blight on you if I can. Nice. We've now got 4 for 3 turns. That attack is nasty, though. Really nasty. There we go. Die to the blight. Absolutely perfect. Right. Let's use laudanum again. I think that's the end of our laudanum, sadly. We can't use the vapors this time, but we can get a bit of healing going.
A little help impeccably timed.
There we go. Now, that grave is almost gone, so we could use Duelist's Advance to bring it, to get rid of it, and to gain some riposte. That's pulled you forward, which is grand. I would like very much to drive it forward, bring them even closer. So let's hunt that one back. There we go. Blister shot. Perfect person to attack there. I approve enormously. I mean, I'm sure they're not too happy about being the perfect person to attack, but nevertheless, it's true. Right. They've got 4 down. Yep, we are taking them out with this attack. Perfect, on round 4.
The work continues.
Not bad, eh? They're building their relationship even further.
In crisis, no gain is insignificant.
Alright, we've got another dartboard. Nice. That'll be very useful for pulling down stress, which, by the looks of it, we're desperately going to need on Masquerina at the next inn. Okay. We've got a little ways to go. And we will be at... There we go. We did end up getting a an assistance, which is perfect. Desperate few. Let's see how we can help you. Our torch is at 88. An inconvenience this is. Oh, really? You just want to leave? I hope we can find purchase that mud looks vicious. Okay, so that's plus 30 torch. My screen doesn't have anything to add. A little assistance goes a long way. Let's see how this affects us. We've got a potential of a quirk. Oh dear. Tough.
Abandoned or forgotten. It is ours now.
They're unhappy. They are unhappy with that change. Poor blighters, indeed. Let's have a quick look at what just went down there. So, we've got extra resistance here. That's very nice to see. But what did you just get, Dander? Well, oh, right, we need a new oh, fantastic, actually. We've had more laudanum to put in there. That's actually kind of amazing. Okay, but relationships. It's going down. Dislike that. You're friendly with Masquerina, but you're starting to build up distrust with my wife's biggest fan. That's going to be a problem for us in time. But you did gain tough. Plus 10 maximum HP. So that worked out kind of well for us ultimately. Not the best, certainly, but... Right, where do people want to go? I don't think they care. Pretty much one road is as good as the next. We're going to go to the right, though. And we'll see what we can see along the road.
Let us temper this world's cruelty.
Indeed.
Just a little.
Wow, we can see really far ahead down the road. Okay, we've definitely got to fight. Yeah. Everywhere the world comes, something, something, something. Okay. I dislike the fight on the road. Honestly, I prefer the fights in the at the destinations just so that we don't have the rounds to deal with. But let's find out what's going on. Right, how are we going to open this? We've got a crack shot. We've got a crack shot at the front as well. Well, an early blight can actually be pretty good, but flying dags hit both of them in the middle is pretty solid as well. Crit to the face, always nice. You know what, Masquerina, we're going to go with some absinthe. Let's speed you up and give you a bunch of dodge. Try and avoid taking unnecessary damage. You're already quite unhappy with things as is. I would... Okay, well, let's just go for the crack shot. Got lower health. It'll be easier to take you down. Nice big hit there. Very nice, in fact. We're always going to go with blinding gas to open up because, damn it, it's so good. Though the daze in this instance, not going to help us in the slightest. We're also going to dodge forward, get riposte. There we are. I should have used the laudanum. That was silly of me. I keep forgetting that that does not take a turn. I will eventually remember it. Ooh, ouch.
The slow suffering begins.
Okay, that was unpleasant. Very. Nice dodge. Oh, fantastic. Right, so they've repositioned themselves. So we got a bit of an advantage there from the beginning. Now, thanks to your speed, you took a turn first. I would really like to hit you, but I can no longer do that. However, well, actually, no, I can. Perfect. Let's go for it. Really want to get a combo skill. We could... Yeah, sure, let's go ahead and take aim. Get a little bit of dodge, crit, and we've still got riposte, and that's just going to work so well for us. I'd very much like you to deal with your bleeding. There we go. Now... I feel that maybe going for Defender would be good. But at the same time, you've got a combo ability. So I don't really want to take more attacks on you than are necessary. Let's just take you out if we can. We can.
Early results are encouraging.
Impressed? I think they are, yes. Right, do we need... Oh, I think we can go with Noxious Blast here. It's a solid hit of 4 Blight, so sure. Let's get it down there. We're not going to do a lot of damage this turn, but... Ah, damn it, they resisted the Blight. The whole thing with Blight is if it doesn't actually kick in, it's a wasted turn. But that riposte is so good. That probably would have killed them, actually. The Blight would have taken them down, and then that would have ended them. There we go. We do need to get a heal on you, though. Quite badly at this point. Right, we could use the lie to get rid of this corpse. Yes, let's do that. So that you're within attacking range. Because you are actually a bit of a scoundrel. Right, we're going to take you out and do a little bit of extra damage to you. Perfect. Well done. Okay, our team is actually starting to form a really strong bond, which I'm very, very happy about. We can go for a Duelist's Advance. Then our Plague Doctor can heal you. Shame we didn't get the crit, because that would have finished you off. We definitely need the heal here. But first, Laudanum. Please and thanks. There we go. And now Battlefield Meds. Now, they do heal on the road. You may have noticed that we'll exit a fight with fairly low health and then, you know, inexplicably be much healthier by the time we get to the next battle. And that is because they do heal on the way. Let's take you out before you get to take your turn. Perfect. Okay, they're actually getting very close to forming a strong relationship now. This is especially nice. Sure, let's go for take aim. And then we're just gonna lay the smack down there. Down to 3 health, we can finish this already. Do I want to let my Plague Doctor get a chance first? And I kinda do. So, we're not gonna heal, and it really won't matter. But I'm banking on my Plague Doctor here, getting first Laudanum. Let's keep that stress down. Then we're gonna go for a heal. Get your health back up a bit. Then finally we're gonna go... hopefully... Oh, damn it, you didn't go for the right person, but it's fine. We resisted the blood. Okay, you get a turn. We've easily got this fight, so there was no reason to avoid it. That help on stress is a big help for us. Right, we've got a minor cleansing sensor, some relics, and some slime mold. Yours for the taking. So another trinket that one of our people can equip for a permanent bonus. So let's go ahead and do that. Who do we want to give the disease resistance to? You know what? Are you the only one that doesn't have a trinket now? Yes, you are. Dander, you get a trinket because you're doing such great work. There you go, Dander. You're not very resistant to disease, which makes a lot of sense for a plague doctor. You know, that mask isn't just for show, you know. Go. Alright, we're coming up to our destination. Perhaps later we can get a drink. Oh, that's nice. Dander's making friends. More friends. This is good. What a very dapper party we have. Okay. Right, let's have a look. Let's see what they can trade us for our few relics. They can trade us a lot. True tacticians avoid these kinds of inefficiencies. Ooh, we cannot let others fall while we succeed. I agree, my wife's biggest fan. If we take you, 2 people are going to be unhappy. We would not get any light from this. In fact, we'd lose light. But we would gain a trinket by the looks of it. Or we can exchange relics for boosting our light way beyond what we can actually make use of. No, we're going to go with my wife's biggest fans option here.
The Wainwright awaits, eager to ply his trade.
Crow's Nest, plus 15% scout chance on all nodes. That's pretty amazing. Soothing Poultice. Whittling Tools, -3 stress at the inn. Whiskey Flask, -2 stress. Okay, that was well worth it. Human resilience is truly remarkable, but so is how long I have been recording this episode for. I'm afraid we've run all out of time, but we've done some great work in this first stage. We've got a ways to go before we might even get out of this first area. And if you would like to see that, then do let me know down in the comments. And if there is enough interest, we might see this coming back for an extended first stage, perhaps even more than that. It does seem rather thematic given the time of the year. But that is going to be it from me. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. And if you are interested in picking up the game, again, you can find a link down in the description below, and if you use my creator code on Epic, you'll also be supporting the channel, so it's a win-win. But that is going to be it from me, so until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.